Well, welcome to you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And congratulations for being here. Because you might think that you came to see me tonight, but you didn't really come to see me. You came to connect with some beautiful, beautiful spirits. Wow, some beautiful spirits. They're going to be here touching your heart tonight. So those of you that are not really sure why you came tonight is going to be life-changing. Are you ready? Are you ready to have your life changed tonight? Yay! We're going to invite in some very, very powerful beings to bless us tonight. So my name's Gail Thackray, and I say that I'm a medium, which means that I have a little connection to spirits on the other side. But we're all mediums. We can all do this. We sense our loved ones around us. We know they're there. And then we say, oh, no, maybe that was just my imagination. But we all do this. We just block it. It's hard. So I was completely normal until I was about 40. And then I woke up and started doing freaky, weird stuff. So those of you that want to do freaky, weird stuff, you don't have to be born this way. You can learn to do it. And we're going to connect, and we're going to feel maybe some of our loved ones come in tonight, because when we do this kind of work and we ask the spirits to come in, and we're going to put a beautiful, beautiful light around this room, you may feel your loved ones also coming in and blessing you tonight, because they're here with you. So we're going to talk a little bit about spiritual healing and energy work, and a little bit about mediumship. So how many of you came when I brought John of God to Toronto? Way, congratulations. How many of you have actually been to see John of God in Brazil? Yeah. Have you heard about him? Did you see the interview with Oprah, or hear about Wayne Dyer, who was healed of leukemia through just a photograph that went down to John of God? Okay, so how did I get to meet this man? Well, I was already a medium, and I was already teaching Reiki healing, and I heard about this guy. And I'd seen these things about these physical surgeries. How many of you seen these physical surgeries, right? Like on YouTube, where he cuts people open and all that crazy stuff, right? So I'd heard about this guy, and I thought, wow, he sounds awesome. I'd love to go see him. But it's not like I had any kind of illness, and I don't want one, thank you very much. So I didn't really have an excuse to go. But I ended up going anyway. I ended up going more out of just interest to go see this guy and see what he's all about. I think I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I could help out, do a little bit of healing down there. The spirits are like, yeah, you can have your own healing, don't worry about it. So I go down to see this guy in Brazil. Now, I have a connection, so I can feel and sense spirits around. But when I went to this place was so magical that it was like the spirits are there talking, walking next to you, and there with you, and you can feel them and sense them, and they're there. And I started asking people, I'm like, why did you come down here? And they would say, I had cancer 5 years ago. I said, oh, I'm sorry, did it come back again? And they say, no, I just come here now just because I just come for a tune-up, right? And I kept hearing this over and over again. Oh, I had this, terrible back injury, but, now I'm fine, but I just come down here. And I thought, why are these people coming down here? And what they were all saying was that it's not about the physical healing. That when you receive a spiritual healing, that there's this amazing lift of energy. So that they're not only healed of the physical thing, but whatever is going on in their life, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff is all completely lifted. Is this bothering people with this sound next door? Is there a way that is this sound person, is there a way we could turn this up or something? Okay, do I have a technical guy in here? Is there a technical guy here that can help with the sound? Expo people at the back there. Excuse me. Hello, expo people at the back there. Does anybody know how to turn the sound up on this speaker here? Okay, come on, spirits, let's manifest somebody that can help with the sound here. Okay, do you have somebody that can help with the sound?
Very shortly, Gail.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, while we're waiting, we're giving away some great stuff tonight. So I'm passing around some beautiful free crystals. Did anybody not get a free crystal yet? Okay, oh, everybody. All right, great. All right, so my volunteers are going to be passing around some bowls of free crystals. Could you turn the mic up so we can't hear the guy next door so much? Or turn his down? Turn his off, like pull the plug on his next door? Did you turn mine up or turn his off? Okay, is that a little bit better? More. Bigger, louder. Turn it down. Do you have the button to his next door? Pull the plug on his. Okay, we're also passing around, I want you to get either a piece of paper, or if you don't have a piece of paper, we've got some little cards, some little index cards. You're going to need a piece of paper today. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of paper, any paper, or we'll pass you a piece of card if you don't have one. And you're going to write on there all the beautiful things you want to bring into your life right now. We're going to ask permission to the spirits. We're going to tell them what we would like to bring into our life right now. So we're going to write down on a piece of paper what special blessings. Is there some special healing that you'd like tonight? Is there part of your body that you need some healing tonight? Or would you like some help with your relationships or your career? Does anybody need a little bit of extra money in their life? Yeah? Okay, go on, put some extra money down on your card. It's only a little card, so you might want to just write down anything I've forgotten about. But put the main things that you'd like to bring into your life right now. What kind of changes would you like to have in your life? What do you want some help with? Or what would you like some advice on? And also you can write down names of loved ones that you'd like to have a special blessing tonight. Okay, now, this lady over here, you're already thinking about everybody else but yourself. So you have to put some things for yourself, because you're already thinking about all these people you've got to take care of and all these people that need healing. But you need to put some things for yourself too. So make sure you put some nice things for yourself. And we're going to work with that a little bit later. And we're going to ask the spirits what we want in our life. And I'll give you lots of time to think about that. But just make sure I've got a piece of paper. And then sometime tonight you will get a little bowl or a little bag passed around with a crystal. You're just going to take one of the free crystals and pass it on. And this is a special blessed crystal with a lot of energy. All right, so let me explain a little bit about spiritual healing. You see, energy healing is removing or changing the energy around you. We have a physical body. This is our physical body. We can feel our physical body and we can see it. But what we can't see is we have energy bodies that are all around us. This is where we store all our emotions, our feelings, our things that have happened to us in the past, all get stored around us in this invisible body. Just as we know that our physical body is actually really not physical, it's actually vibrating molecules. It's really 99.999999% space. It's really just energy, this physical body, this physical table. Even though it feels physical, it's really not. So around us, our body is just vibrating at a higher speed and we can't see it physically. But we also have a body around us, just a lighter energy, but that's still part of us, and that's where we store our emotions. So before we come into this life, if you believe in past lives, you're up there and you're looking down on yourself and you're deciding all the wonderful things you're going to have in this life. You think that there's certain lessons, certain things that you did in your last life which you didn't quite complete, and you'd like to experience that a little bit more. So you leave all your soulmates up there, and they're like, okay, good luck. You go in and have that physical life, and we'll stay back and watch you and cheer you on, right? And you decide all these wonderful experiences you're going to have. Now, we have a lot of free will, but you decide some of the main things that are going to be your themes in life. So you decide, yeah, I might want to have a bit more talent. I wasn't very talented. I'd like to be more creative in my next life. But I was good with money. So maybe a little financial stress. That would be fun. Let's throw in a little bit of financial stress. And yeah, maybe a bad back. Yeah, a bit of pain. That would be interesting. Maybe I could have an illness that I might want to get over. So I'll throw in a couple of illnesses. And I'd like to teach myself some self-love. I want to really experience that and love myself. I didn't really love myself last time. So let's throw in some crappy relationships. That should help teach me some self-love, right? So you decide these wonderful experiences you're going to have, and you're born a baby, and this veil comes over you and you completely forget everything that you've picked for yourself, right? So you're going through life quite happy, everything's great, and then you get ready to experience some of these fun things that you've decided to experience. So let's take the self-love, right? So you're in your 20s, and you're about to experience self-love, and so you meet this wonderful person. You meet your soulmate, and you look in their eyes, and you know that you know them because you've known them for many lifetimes, and you fall madly in love with them. Yeah, they're your soulmate, right? Because soulmates might be really wonderful, but those are also the people that are going to come and give you that nasty lesson, right? So you meet this person that you fall madly in love with. They know you intimately. They know your buttons that they can push, and they know everything about you. So you start having this wonderful relationship, and then things turn not so wonderful, and you guys start arguing and stressing and fighting, and that energy is coming towards you, that self-love energy that's saying, stand up for yourself, don't let yourself be treated like that, love yourself, and that energy comes closer and closer, but you don't, right? So you continue fighting and arguing with this person, and it gets worse and worse. And if you leave it too long, it actually eventually can physically manifest. So if it's a relationship, romantic relationship, it's going to manifest in this area here. Okay, how many of you have problems right here? Ovaries, womb, intestines, tummy problems. Yeah? Okay, that's yucky relationships sitting right here that you never really processed, right? Yeah. So that's 2 ex-husbands you got sitting right here, right? She's laughing. Yeah, she knows it, right? And then you might think you get rid of that first one, and then you meet exactly the same one. Why do you meet exactly the same one, right? Because you didn't really experience that lesson, right? Or it could be something your mom did, your mom said, your dad did when you were young, and it's going to be in this area here because this is your family area. So where it is on our body is going to tell us where that stuff came from. But we all have stuff. And when you look back at these relationships, do you look back and you say, that person, they were a jerk. But you know what? I love and I release and I look back in love and light and I don't have any issue with it, right? Do you do that? No, you don't. You'd be an angel if you did. You're like, no, I can't believe that person did that, right? 20 years later, you think about it and you think, oh, that person was a jerk, right? If you're thinking about something that happened 20 years ago and it still irks you, that is their energy. That's their yucky energy sitting in your energy field. About something that your mom did not do for you when you were 5 years old and it bothers you, that is sitting in your energy field, right? These are what we call triggers. We all have stuff. It's part of life. We can't go through life and not have stuff around us. The good news is that if this is just energy that's around us that we've collected it, then we can just dissolve that and we can just release that energy. So I don't believe that we have any ailment that we've just got because it's bad luck. We don't just get cancer just because we're a victim. Sometimes we might not really know what it's about. It might come from a long time ago. It might even come from a past life. But there's some reason that we have something in our life. Everything that we have in our life, good and bad, we have brought to us as part of our energy field. But what we can do is we can dissolve that. We can say, okay, I've had enough of this lesson. I don't need that anymore. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to have a wonderful, joyful life. We're supposed to be living our soul purpose, having that feeling of great purpose and love, and doing it in abundance. Are we all doing that? Are we all completely doing that? Completely healthy, no issues? We're going to get to that because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So we're going to clear off everything that's holding you back and everything that's around you. And that's what spiritual healing is about. When you go for a spiritual healing and you have, say, a cancerous lump, if you go to the doctors and you have it removed, that's great. That's the physical part out and gone. But how often does that come back? And why is that? Well, it's because you haven't actually dealt with the energy. You haven't removed the energy of it. So things can come back later and manifest somewhere else because you didn't take away the energy. When you have a spiritual healing, you are going all the way to the energy of it. So it might be a problem with your throat, but it's not really a physical problem with your throat. When you get rid of that, what's underneath? Why do you have that problem? Throat's going to be not talking to somebody about something. So when you have a spiritual healing, you're removing all the way back whatever was the cause. And that is why you feel fantastic when you have a spiritual healing, because you're not only removing the physical part of it, you're removing all that crappy stuff that's been around you for all those years, and you feel amazing. You've got a new lease on life, and you feel fantastic. And that's why people say when they go to see John of God, they feel fantastic, they feel moved, they feel this amazing feeling. And it's easy. This is something we can do. You know, John of God says that it is God that heals. It's not him. And I believe that. It's not some healer that gives you something, some power. It's us. It's within us. We're all connected to divine source or God or whatever you believe, but we're all connected. That is our divine right. That is our connection that we're born with. And some people are very strong, and we can sit and we can pray, and we can connect up there, and we can receive whatever help that we're asking for. But then sometimes it becomes difficult, especially when you've got more things on top of more things on top of more things. It becomes very difficult to really trust that you can do that. So we're going to have a good clear off so that we can have a great start and help to reconnect you so you know what that feeling is. But this is going to be your connection. It is you that is opening, and you that is being willing to accept this, and you that is doing the healing. It's not going to somebody else. It's reconnecting you. Okay, so I go see John of God, and I say I'm a medium, which means I have this little connection to spirit. He actually takes spirits inside his body. He actually incorporates a spirit, which is really unusual. So he comes out on stage and he does this. Right, his eyes go back in his head. Looks kind of spooky. And his eyes are normally brown. His eyes go blue. That means there is now a spirit inside this body. So when you go to see John of God, you're not actually going to see John, the man John, you're going to see a spirit. So as you walk up to see John of God, it's actually a spirit that you're talking to. And these spirits read your energy. Now there's one inside him, but there's many thousands in the room. And that's what happens. There's many, many thousands of spirits that are already in this room tonight, want to work with us. They want to connect, they want to help us. And the spirits read your energy, and you put out permission, you ask for what you want. Now I thought, why do you write down what you want? That's kind of stupid, isn't it? I mean, surely these high beings that know everything know what I want. Well, it's not about them knowing what's good for you and what you want. You have to ask. How many times do we ask for other people? We pray for other people, but we forget to ask for ourselves. And we have to give them permission. We have to ask. Because if we don't, it's like they could be interfering with our karma. So these spirits are up there. You all have your own personal guides. You all have a lot of these beautiful spirits around you. And they're looking, going, I'd really like to help her. She's at a real crossroads, and she's really bashing her head against the wall, going, I don't know what to do here. But she hasn't asked. So maybe she needs a little bit more financial stress, We'd like to give her a little bit more abundance, but she hasn't given us permission, so we better not interfere, right? How many of you know that you're doing that, right? You're not asking, right? Wouldn't it be so much easier if we could have divine guidance and we could have somebody opening some doors for us and showing us and giving us these opportunities and bringing abundance to us? So I go in front of John of God. And I said, I don't really have any physical stuff, but just spiritual enlightenment, that would be good. And he goes, okay, surgery. I thought, wow, that's a bit extreme, right, for spiritual enlightenment, right? So I have a spiritual surgery. Now, when you are assigned a spiritual surgery, it's always invisible. It's always like a meditation. It's not a physical one unless you ask for it. How many of you have seen this, where he actually cuts people open and does these physical surgeries, right? You have to volunteer to do it. You have to say, I want to do that. And people do that because they say, well, I'm not sure I believe in that, this prayer stuff. I don't know if that's really going to work for me. I need you to actually cut me open. And these are not plants. You can walk right up on stage, and you can go right up, and you can be a volunteer if you want, and you can have an opening. I took a guy here from Toronto that I met here last year, and he came with me a couple of months ago to John of God. And I've took in my clients, and they go in for invisible surgery. And when you have an invisible surgery, he says, does anybody want to volunteer for a physical? Well, me, I'm like, I'll keep my hand down like this. Well, my client apparently went, I'll take a physical, right? So here I am out there in the audience. I've just put them in. I go, oh my gosh, that's my client standing up there on the stage. What's he doing? So he gets up, and John of God comes over and does a big incision from here to here. And actually, put his hand inside his flesh, took some stuff out, and sewed him up. My client said he didn't feel anything. Just warmth and love. And he was actually sewing him up with a needle, and he felt nothing. And that's what happens, is the spirits put like this anesthesia on you, and you can't feel anything. Normally it's a spiritual surgery unless you ask for it. So
did they really literally, did this gentleman literally cut open your friend with...
He's asking if he literally cuts him open. Yes, they literally take you on stage, take a knife, a knife, looks a bit like a kitchen knife, cuts you open and takes out whatever tumor is. I've seen him do brain surgeries and all kinds of crazy stuff. And for those of you who've actually seen my DVD and my book, I did a documentary about John of God, and we interviewed a lot of these people, and we interviewed people having these physical surgeries. And at the end of my filming, I woke up one day and said, I've kind of done everything, I've experienced everything, but I haven't experienced a physical surgery. I wonder what that feels like. I should ask for one of those. So I went to John of God and I said, I'd like to have one of those ice scraping things, to see what it feels like. Yes, well, you can watch my video and see, because that was probably not the right thing to ask for. But I did have a physical surgery, and you can watch it on my DVD, and it was not what I expected. But I did feel it, and generally you do not feel it. But they wanted to show me, because there was that little bit of doubt where I didn't completely believe. I thought, well, maybe it's sleight of hand. Maybe you don't really feel it. Maybe, you're meditative and you're very quiet, and it's just kind of mind over matter. And he came over and he scraped my eyeball, and at first I didn't feel anything. And then he came back and he scraped a bit harder, and it was agony. I mean, I felt every little thing, and I went, oh my gosh, this is real. This guy's really scraping my eyeball with a kitchen knife. And I was about to get up and say, I'm done. And the spirit said, okay, you can have your anesthetic now. And they actually gave me spiritual anesthetic. And then he continued, and I could feel him. I could feel his fingers. I could feel the knife, but no pain at all. And so they showed me the before and the after, because I asked what it feels like. So if you ever volunteer for one, don't ask to feel it. Okay, so my first trip down there, I go to John of God, and I go in front of him and I ask a business question. Because you can ask for help with finances, help with relationships, anything, right? So I go up in front of him and I said, I'd like some help with this business deal that I've got going on. And he says, okay, we'll help you. And I'm like, okay, that was it? Like, you're not going to touch me or heal me or do something? And he says, no, just go sit over there, and there's a little closing prayer. And I'm thinking, we want somebody to fix us. We want to go to somebody and then, okay, am I done? Have you fixed me? Tell me, tell me my future. Tell me what I should do, right? But it's not about that, right? So here I go into this little room, and I'm supposed to sit there, and they're just doing a closing prayer. Oh, thank the spirits for helping you. And I'm sitting there with my eyes closed thinking, I don't really get any help, did I? I mean, nothing really, I didn't really say anything. I didn't really get anything. And as I'm sitting there, kind of griping to myself, this amazing light came down from the ceiling, like this incredibly beautiful feeling came over me. So intense, this feeling of absolute divine love, where I just burst into tears and started crying, but it's tears of happiness. So overwhelmed with this feeling of love. And this voice came to me like a man was just standing next to me, not like a mediumship, like a man was really there. And this voice said, but what is your higher purpose? Meaning, why do you care about all this stuff? This is what it's about. This connection, this feeling, this is what you need to strive for. This is what life is about. And I just sat there, my breath taken away, completely pinned back. And I said, wow, I want to share this with people. And the voice came back and said, so be it. And I know it sounds really corny, but I feel like that day I actually talked to God. And I know I've heard people who said, I've had this like once in a lifetime experience where I felt just this divine energy and I felt this touch. Of course, I went back every day going, okay, God, speak to me again. Never quite got that same kind of impact, but that for me was more impressive than all the physical surges and everything else. I really felt like I'd been touched. So I come back to Los Angeles, and I have a little Monday night group, and I said, hey, I'm back. I went to see this guy, John of God. I've got some photos. Come over to my house, and I'll give a little talk about it. Now, normally I'd have 20 or 30 people show up at my house. So I send out this email, nothing spectacular. And a lady calls me, and she says, what was in your email? I opened your email, and it was like this amazing light came down from the ceiling, and I just felt this wonderful feeling of love and this warm light on my wrist. I've had problems with my wrist for years and years, and all of a sudden my wrist is working fine. I said, oh, I don't know, that's kind of weird. And then I got a call from somebody else, and they said, I opened your email, and I felt this amazing white light, and then I felt this warm feeling in my back. I've had problems with my back for a long time, and now my back, all my pain's gone away. What was in your email? And I started getting call after call. And I said, I don't know what's going on. So my Monday night rolls up, and instead of 20 or 30 people, I've got like 120 people. We can't park everybody, and they're all coming in going, I got this feeling of white light, and my legs work. Yeah, mine too. I got this feeling, and then my hips working. And I don't know why to come here tonight, but I got this email, and then it felt touched. And I said, look, I don't know what's going on here, but let's do a little meditation. Let's pretend we're back at the casa, and let's ask to connect with these spirits. And we did, and we had amazing healings that night, and not just for the people in the room, but for everybody they thought about, everybody's name they thought about, everybody they were thinking about during the meditation. And they all received this amazing healing. And all I can say is that I believe that when we want to connect, these spirits are there wanting to help us. It is part of their karma. They want to be with us. They're here tonight wanting to help us. And all we have to do is open our hearts and say, I want that. I want to receive that. I want to be open to that. I want to be touched. And just in that allowing and saying, I want to be touched by that, you are going to be touched by that, and you are going to feel that. And this is not a one-time thing. This is a connection that goes home with you. This is something that is part of you and part of your life. It is an opening between you and these beautiful spirits. And that's why I congratulate you for being here tonight, because I know that if you will just open your heart, you're going to feel and experience this really beautiful divine energy. Okay, so I want to give you a little example of what spiritual healing is about, what energy healing is about. Who would like to be a volunteer for me? Okay, you can come up. And then we'll take the lady over there with the blonde hair and the glasses, yeah. So you can come up too. Have a seat, my dear. And a big hug from Spirit for all the people that you're helping. You're helping a lot of people. Have you helped people pass over? Do you? Animals pass over, okay. But it seems to be that's part of your, it's helping the animals, but also the people with them, okay. And I'm getting just a big warm hug from everybody up there saying thank you, because you really do tremendous work, okay. But you're also very clairsentient, which means you take a lot of that feeling on, right? And you protect you need more white light protection, because what you end up doing is you take those feelings on and you actually put on extra weight from trying to protect yourself without doing the white light. All you have to do is put that white light around you. Every day when you wake up, it'll be good for you, because you're constantly bombarded with energy, okay? And a big love from is it your mom, Spirit? Did your mom pass over? Or it must be your mom's mom then, because I'm getting a very motherly feeling around you. Were you more close to your grandma? Was she more like a mom to you? Okay, yeah. And you actually smell her cooking, yeah. She says you've got one of her recipes. You haven't quite got it right, but you're trying. I think it's coming up for some kind of, is it Thanksgiving you're going to be doing? You're going to be using one of her recipes. Anyway, okay. So what I want to do is I want to work on clearing off some of that energy that you've picked up from other people. You know, our animals are our energy healers. So our animals will come over and sit on our lap when we're not feeling very well. So when we come all stressed home from work, and we're all stressed out and our animal comes to stroke us, they're actually helping us to remove some of that negative energy. So you've got all these animals that you're helping, but you're also helping all their parents, their mums and their dads. So I'm going to use her, but we're going to ask the spirits to work on everybody in this room. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a nice clearing off. All the stuff that you've picked up from other people that's not your energy. This will also, we want to remove a little energy here. So do you want to lose some weight without dieting or exercise? Yes. Yeah? So if you'd like to lose a little weight without dieting or exercise, you could go ahead and put your hands right where you need to lose it. Oh,
Make it everywhere. Make it everywhere.
And we're going to ask to clear off any energy that's not ours, that's not serving us. So what we're going to do is going to use her as a surrogate, but we're going to work on everybody in the room. All these beautiful benevolent spirits.
One hand or two?
Whatever you feel like you need. 2. Okay, close your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the beautiful spirits in this room to descend upon us. We're going to give permission to wrap their beautiful energy around us, to dissolve any negative energy, to remove and take away any energy that's not ours, that's not serving us, to remove all ties and cords, and to take away any excess weight without dieting or exercise. Do you want to do that? Give me a big yes.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my dear. All right. Now we're going to work on a little bit with you, with Mom. There's a little bit of forgiveness needs to go on with Mom. Does that make sense to you? Okay. She's in spirit now, right?
No.
Oh, she's not. Okay. There's definitely a distance between you, but when you were young, there was she was quite strict with you, and I think you were also made to be kind of the mother of the house when you were very young, okay? And you're holding on to some of that stuff, right? And you hold your family stuff right here, okay? So I don't know if you get any physical problems, but it will be in your lower part right here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And you know what I'm talking about with your mum being a little bit overly strict with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's also, I'm getting things that were not said as well as things that were done. It's sometimes the things that were hurtful were things that were not done. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and we're very proud of you being up here because I know this is a difficult one and you've actually been trying to do a little bit of work on it, but they said you need a little help.
I need help.
Yes, okay. All right, so we're going to work on family stuff, so if you would like to join in, or if you have any physical issues in this lower part of your body and your hips, go ahead, put your hands right here. And you're going to think about your mum or your dad or whoever it was in your early childhood that hurt you. So close your eyes and think about the things that happened. And then just say, you know what, I chose my parents, because we choose our parents. I chose these people in my life, and I chose to have these experiences. But this energy is no longer serving me. So I'd like to release any negative feeling, any negative ties with these people. I want to send love and light, and I'd like to remove any negative energy. Would you like to do that? Give me a big yes.
Yes.
Yes. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wonderful. Can I have a hug?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And who's the Mary in spirit?
The who?
Mary in spirit.
Mary.
Mary. There's a Mary that looks after you in spirit that kind of is a surrogate mother that takes care of you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Who else would like to get up? Thank you, darling. Thank you. Let's see.
Mary, I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The lady over there with the white. Yeah. Don't turn around. You with the blonde hair with the white. Yes, you. And lady with the red with the glasses. Yeah, you. Everybody goes. You guys can be next. All right, what are we going to work on? Why have they chosen you? Okay, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache right here. Young man around in spirit wants to give a big hug in his 20s. We got some relationship issues we want to work on, and also just a feeling of like almost panic attack, almost being completely lost in life and not sure where I'm going. It all sits right here. Do you sometimes just almost have this feeling where you just don't know why you're upset, you're just panicked, you don't know what's going on, you just feel completely lost?
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot of grief over a lot of time. Okay, now, there's a young man in spirit wants to say, I love you. Is it like a son?
Son.
It is a son, but it's a grown son, like in his 20s.
He was 20 when he passed away.
He was 20 when he passed away.
No, he was 29.
He was 29, okay. And I'm getting Chris or Michael?
No, Christopher and Brandon.
Christopher and Brendan. Okay, so they're people to say hello to.
Sons. Those are his sons.
Those are his sons, okay, so that's why he's saying, please give my love to them and that I am around them, tell them that. And he's a very fun, very adventurous young man, and he's still got that kind of spunk over there. But he says, help my mom. Mom needs some help with relationships. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's your main issue, like right here, relationships, and also pain right here. Do you get that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, all right. You've had a couple of bad relationships in the past. You don't have anybody right now, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so would you like to have somebody nice in your life?
Sure.
Okay, now sometimes what happens is we have a bad relationship. You know what I was talking about earlier, where you draw in that energy and then you get rid of that person, but you haven't really got rid of that energy, you haven't really learned your lesson. So sometimes Spirit kind of protects us like they're doing for you. So they don't want you to meet anybody yet, because if you meet anybody, they're not going to be very nice. So once we get rid of that energy, now you can meet a nice person. So we don't want to be meeting somebody that's not nice. So let's work on relationships. Anybody else in the room need to work on relationships? Okay, put your hands right over this area here. If you've got physical problems here, or if it's just a relationship, put your hands right here. And let's think about some of our past relationships. Let's think about that jerk and what nasty things they did. All right, close your eyes. Think about the past relationships. Think about how bad they were. And know that you chose that for a reason. And you want to process that lesson, dissolve it and release it. We no longer need that energy to serve us. Would you like to release that? Give me a big yes.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're going to be helping other people heal with similar things that you've had. Oh, you're a powerful healer. You do it naturally. Do you know? Are you working doing energy healing yet?
No.
Yes, you do. I feel as I come close to you, my whole body starts vibrating. You get very warm.
God, yes,
okay. No. But some people are natural energy healers like you. And so, but you do tend to help people. They'll gravitate towards you and tell you all their problems. They'll come over. It's like at work, they'll come over. I've never told anybody this. But I'm going to tell you all about my problems, right? Yes. And then they tell you all the problems, and they say, wow, I feel great, right? Because what they did is they just kind of dumped all their stuff on you and left it, and then you walk away. And then you get all these weird things, weird ailments.
Yes.
Why do I have this weird, it's like a cold, but then I'm not feeling, I'm achy, I've got a problem here. Do you get like aches in your hips? And this area here, okay, yeah, it's all different people's stuff you've taken on, right? This hip here is an auntie that you're helping out, somebody in your family. You got stuck in the middle as a mediator, and then you got in trouble for helping out, right? Kill the messenger, you know what I'm talking about? Right? So she was in a family situation, they put her in the middle to help out, and then they got mad at her for being in the middle, right? Yes. Yes, okay, right. So where are we going to start on this one? Well, let's work on this right hip here. Okay. And let's work on removing energy from other people, again, that's not yours and that's not serving you. Right side of your body is often not moving forward. So if any of you are feeling stuck in your career, where you're going in life, it's going to affect your right side of your body, right hip or your right knee. So I'm going to particularly work on this right side. She's picked it up from other people, but a lot of you have just got it from just feeling stuck. So who would like to work on that, the right side, feeling stuck? If it's your left side, left knee, left hip, that's more physical. That's actually stuck in a job or a situation. Your right side is more emotional. So if you want to do that, put your hand wherever you need it, and let's get rid of that stuck energy and get you moving forward. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. We ask these beautiful benevolent spirits to come down and work with you to remove any stuck energy from around you, anything that's stopping you from moving forward, either emotionally or in your career. Would you like to do that? Give me a big yes.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And your pleasure.
Father passed away.
My daughter. And my father also.
Yeah, thank you. I was just telling her father's around her, giving a big hug. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now we want to do lots of these, but I don't have that much time to do everything. Maybe we'll get to do some in a little bit later. But I want to get to everybody and make sure everybody gets all the wishes that they want. We're going to work with some crystals. Did anybody not get a free crystal? Okay, so we've got some people at the back didn't get one, and the volunteers will help you to get one. So John of God was told to build his casa in a place called Abijanya. How many of you have been to Abijanya? It's the middle of nowhere. And he was told to build his casa there, so he did, but he had no idea why. And then afterwards he found that in the mountain where he built his healing center were these beautiful caverns of quartz crystals. How many of you know about quartz crystals, work with crystals? The crystals have amazing energy, and they also keep the energy from Mother Earth where they're from. So these crystals are in the mountain under this healing center that's now been there for 30 years with these beautiful benevolent spirits having this beautiful healing center over the top of it. And they mine some of these crystals and they sell them in the casa shop. And that's for 2 reasons. One, because they use the money so that when you go for a healing, the healings are free. Of course, you've got to get a plane to get down there, but once you're there, the actual healings are free. And also, you can take these crystals back and you can bring that energy back with you. So that's a way of bringing back that connection with that energy from Brazil. So when you bring back a crystal or anything like that from John of God, it actually holds that energy and you can feel it. So as we pass these little crystals around, they're only little tiny crystals, but they do have tremendous energy. Here is one of the bigger crystals. I actually have a pair of what they call mediumship crystals, which John of God picks from deep in the ground. The mediumship crystals, they have, you use a pair. One is the taller, skinnier one, which is the male one, and then there's a short, fat one, which is the female, right? Go figure. And they're about this size. These are beautiful ones. But then I also have some other ones here I brought to show you. Last time I was down there, I bought some crystals in the shop, and I went to see John of God, and I had a surrogate surgery for one of my clients. So I had to go in the surgery room to have a surgery done on me, but it was for somebody back home. And I happened to have my big bag full of crystals I just bought at the casa shop, and I went into this surgery room. And as I go into the surgery room with these crystals, I'm sitting there, and you have to close your eyes, and it's kind of like a meditation. You put your hand over your heart, and John of God comes in and he does the surgery, and you feel the spirits around you, and you feel the energy. I felt the energy come through me and right to my lap, right where these crystals were sitting. And when I came out of the surgery room with these crystals, all of a sudden these crystals went sparkling clear. They weren't clear like this when they went in there. And some of them had like little angels and things inside them.
Hi, Gail. I'm Linda.
Hi, Linda.
A year ago, when you talked at the hotel, and I found it fabulous.
Gail Thackray is
Now,
one
you had
in a
some
million.
kind of health
I've seen
problem,
so
but
many
it's saying
people around the
it's
world
gone now.
with 59 shows like this. She is unparalleled in how good she is, what she does, and she brings light to everybody around her. Don't miss it.
You will, but not this year. Okay. Let's put your hand over your heart. Okay. Now, we've got a lot of grief going on here. You've had some difficult time, huh? And you're still dealing with a health issue? Is it
This is for my friend Sadia. She has a lot of energy and she can cure people easily. I feel it now. And
This is going to make a big difference for her. You've helped a lot of your friends.
Say that I feel like I deserve.
Yes, you do. You are. You're a very powerful being. And your grandma says the same thing. Your grandma was very feisty, powerful. She's behind you. You need to stand up for yourself, especially with men. Let them walk all over you. You know it in your heart, you know when you're right, and then you second guess yourself. So if you're never sure, ask your grandma, she'll help you. Mary Judith?
Judith, J-U-D-I-T. Beautiful aura about her.
Yeah. Which one is the blonde, tall? Is it a dog? Like a?
No, it's a cat. He's orange.
He's orange. Is he bigger than a regular cat?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
He's a Cornish Rex. That's OJ.
Okay. OJ's the healing one.
Yes.
And Cal is the one that says, I'm not a pet, I'm more of an intelligent cat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This one gives you messages on your computer.
You know what? You're right. Yes.
This one sits by your computer actually and watches you.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Here in your hip, what's the health issue?
It's well, I've got a backache, but I've got a lot of numbness down my leg. I've got varicose.
They're telling me to fix it, okay? So can we work on that?
Thank you.
All right, close your eyes. And we're going to ask you to move any negative energy from this leg. Do you want to do that? Give me a yes.
Thank you.
All right, now you stand up and tell me, does that feel better?
Yes,
that feel better?
It does.
Yeah?
Thank you so much. It's beautiful.